Hey guys, Jake here. Got another review for you today. Today we're looking at the Voyager Lite by MVP. This is my new bag for 2021. It is replacing the Dynamic Disc Trooper bag that I had for all of 2020. You can catch my review for that up there. Let's see. Just to, I guess, quick rundown. These guys, you can buy them pretty much everywhere. I got mine from Basket Batchers. Big shout out to them. They helped me track down this nice one with the teal. They have a few different colors. It's always the accent color that's different. Otherwise, it's always black for the black part. And they run around $100 or so, maybe just a hair under or over, depending on where you're getting them from. And yeah, so the reason I ended up buying this bag was that previously the Trooper bag I had was great, capacity for discs wise, but it just didn't have the capacity I wanted for all of the accessories and other stuff that I wanted to carry. I wanted to be able to fit more water, an umbrella or a stool or something, and just wanted all that same stuff along with the disc capacity. So basically I just needed to step up from where I was at. The Trooper's like a $40 bag. It's fantastic for what it is, but I needed something just a notch above because now that I'm trying to do tournaments, I want to be able to carry along, like a towel, or a lot of towels actually, but like a raincoat and some other stuff in case the weather's not great, as well as more water. So yeah, I looked through all the bags that were out there. There's a lot of good looking bags out there that I was very interested in trying. I almost went with the Prodigy bag or a grip bag, but ended up really deciding that the features on this one were exactly what I was looking for. Not just because I'm an MVP shill. So I actually did not intend to get an MVP bag, even though I throw all MVP discs. This was just sort of a happy accident that I ended up coming back and really liking the design of these. So I guess we'll sort of get into it. I know there's not a lot of reviews out there yet for the MVP Lite, so I had trouble kind of tracking down the info about it, and hoping that this will help somebody else out when they're looking. So to start with, we'll look on the back here. The straps are pretty normal, nothing too crazy. Backpack straps are pretty much, fine across the board. I think grip and pound bags are going to have, maybe slightly better, but everybody else, it's probably pretty similar. They're cushioned, they're comfortable. I don't have any complaints. The adjustment system is pretty standard with you pull here and then pull the tab to loosen it. Every backpack you've ever owned throughout your life works this way pretty much. So not a ton to say about the straps. I would point out that you have the D-rings. If for some reason you want to put stuff on D-rings on your shoulder straps, I can't imagine wanting to have that stuff bouncing off my chest. You can maybe put bag tag there or something. I don't know. I probably will never use these D-rings. I use the top D-rings. Also, you can fit your fingers in these little loops. You can see you could attach all kinds of stuff through here. There's a vertical attach point there, and it's the same on both straps. So there are a lot of options if you're trying to, hook up all kinds of extra crap to your bag. Endless variety. Also, you do have the top handle here. This is very important. I always want a bag with this sort of top handle, just because, shot to shot, sometimes you're not going very far, and it's just easier to just pick up your bag and move it a couple of feet. If you're, moving around by the T-pad and getting out of people's way, it's nice to not have to shoulder the thing. Or worry about tipping stuff over. So I don't know. I just like having a good strap here. I wish it was attached more along the top, but that would interfere with some of the rest of the way the bag works, so I understand it. But it doesn't cause any problem when you hold it this way. It doesn't like tip over or anything. That's about all there is to say about the straps. I'll move those out of the way here. So then if you're looking at the back has these nice padded, where the lower back goes and along the shoulder blades. It's comfortable, as well as keeping the bag slightly off your back so that these channels can allow air to flow and maybe keep your back a little bit less sweaty. I've primarily been playing in cold weather since I've had this, so I haven't really had a good reason to test the the sweat blocking or whatever preventing capabilities of this design. But I've had backpacks that work like this and stuff, and it does seem to work pretty well. So I don't expect it to be like mind-blowing, but sure, it's better than nothing. Mainly you just want the comfort of the padding, and like some people complain about the bottoms of bags cutting into their back with these rigid frames. I have not experienced that at all, but I also have never experienced that with a bag. I don't know if I just don't load them down heavy enough, or if my body shape just doesn't have that issue or whatever, but I definitely haven't noticed anything comfort-wise that's been a problem with either the straps or the back or the way it rides or carries or anything. They mentioned that it's got a wider like neck area or something to that effect. I don't know if that's in comparison to the Voyager Pro, which is the other big Voyager bag, or if that's just in comparison to other bags. But either way, this is a comfortable bag, so whatever they did it right. I could also point out that they say this is made out of material that's 25% lighter than the Voyager Pro. I've never used a Voyager Pro to know if that's noticeable or not. I would assume that 25% probably pretty noticeable, but it doesn't feel, overly heavy or overly light. It feels about what I would expect for a disc golfing bag, so pretty happy with it. Whatever they did, it seems to be working. So that's pretty much all the carrying mechanisms here. Let's talk a little bit, I guess, about overall quality, I guess, before I get into any of the like pockets or anything. The material is, I forget, it's like 900D poly something or other material. It's supposed to be super durable. It seems like it's very durable. I haven't had any issue. The trees don't snag on it or get caught, or nothing's ripping. All the seams look good. All the zippers are solid. They got the nice tabs on the zippers. The zippers are, the bigger, thicker ones. They slide really nice. The seams and the stitching is all really nice. I don't foresee this thing being the kind of bag that's going to fall apart. I've obviously only had it for, a few, not even a month, 2 months maybe. I don't even know. I think maybe 2 months. But it's gotten, probably a dozen rounds in, and I've definitely been messing around with it a lot. Just when I'm not out disc golfing, I'm constantly messing with the setup to see if I can figure out how the most optimal setup. So I've been messing around with it a lot, and it's seen a little bit of abuse and has no wear at all that I've been able to detect. So far, so good. So yeah, wear-wise, that's, or the material-wise, that's what it is. They claim it's some super durable material. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, and then the bottom. If you can see, there's these little feet on the bottom. They're plastic, and they got these little like sharp points to help hold the bag in place. It does a fantastic job of sitting upright. So especially coming from the Trooper, which is a very tippy bag, that thing was constantly falling over. And as I mentioned before, it's not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world. The discs weren't coming out or anything. But it was just kind of annoying that you couldn't sit upright. This thing, like, no matter where you set it, it's sitting upright. It is very hard to tip over. It's a really, really sturdy bag. It doesn't slide around or anything. So I've been really happy with that. I wouldn't have expected that to be such a nice feature, but after having a bag that tips all the time, this is really nice, actually. So, yeah, okay, I think that's about enough about the, whatever, material and whatnot. We'll get into the actual pockets. So probably the least impressive of the pockets is the water pockets. Got 2 of them. I normally keep my Nalgene on the one side, and right now I have a towel and a hockey puck on the other side, just because I don't need that much water in the wintertime. But in the summer I'll probably get another Nalgene in there. The one thing that I do sort of wish that the pockets had was the drawstring. So the Trooper had like a drawstring, so I could shrink the cinch in the top so that I wouldn't have to worry about a bottle falling out. These ones don't have that. They're just a fixed size. It's not elastic or anything. So it's nice for the Nalgene. They slide right in and they don't go anywhere. I haven't had anything fall out. But if you had a smaller bottle, like if I put a smart water bottle in there, I don't know. I guess I haven't tried it. Maybe it stays in just fine, but it seems like it would have a lot more room to rattle around and roll. So I guess if your bag's not tipping over, maybe it's not a big deal. But it is something to consider that they, could maybe go with the drawstring design just to be a little bit safer. But I could just be being picky. It does have the usual like drain hole in the bottom and all the stuff you'd expect. And the material on the inside is it's a little bit slipperier, so the bottles come in and out. And you've got it on both sides. They're exactly the same. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. If we move on to the side, both sides have the same sort of design. They have a strap that you can click in and cinch down. So I can put like an umbrella, stick it through here, and the point down in the pocket, or like a stool or whatever you want to strap on. You can use this, as well as underneath there you've got, again, you could stick things vertically through this strap. It's sewn in certain places between to give you some yeah, like a finger's width if you had something you need to try to cinch in there, maybe your stool leg or something. I don't know. But yeah, again, lots of different ways to attach things to the bag. But you have this exact same strap on both sides in the exact same way. Down here at the bottom, I mentioned you could put like your umbrella point or something down into this pocket, but if you don't, you can just use it for whatever. It's just another pocket, goes down to the bottom. I keep minis in here, both sides. Yep, minis. But you can put whatever. It's one of those pockets that you probably wouldn't want to put anything too valuable in, because if there's any pocket they're going to fall out of, it's probably that one. But for like a mini, it's fine. Or if you had like a scorecard or something that you need quick access to, maybe that'd be nice. Yeah, about it for that. Nothing too exciting. But what's really exciting, and one of the big sellers for me on this bag, is these big side pockets. So each side has this zippered, gigantic side pocket where you can fit all kinds of stuff. I have towels and a golf ball and some stuff in here right now. But it goes all the way top to bottom, all the way to the back of the bag. So it's a pretty good sized pocket. You could put like a sweatshirt in there, or like a rain jacket, or all kinds of stuff probably. All the snacks you ever want to fit. And these things expand out to the side pretty far, so you could probably really cram them full. And because of the rigid nature of the internal structure where the discs sit, it's not going to like push in on the discs too much and like pinch them in. So like you can pretty much stuff these as much as you want, and you'll probably not have any issues. You'd also notice if you look inside there's like another internal pocket inside of the bigger pocket, a zipper pocket, and inside this has like a felt material kind of on the inside. So if you want to put your phone in there to keep it from getting scratched up or whatever, it's a pretty, I don't know, decent sized pocket. It's pretty much phone size, so I mean, pretty sure they had a specific use in mind. So, but those are kind of neat. They have that on both sides. So both have the big pockets, both have the internal pocket, both have the strap on the outside, both have this pocket, just a mirror image on the other side. And then also I'll mention up here by the top, we have the top D-rings. These are the ones that I like to use for hanging. Right now I have my towel and my bag tags and stuff. But they're not super big D-rings. Like I wouldn't mind them being more the size that they are here on the strap. But they are, fine for everything I need them to do right now. And they do attach sort of on a piece of material that's away from the bag versus attaching directly to the bag. I'm not sure if that's a positive or a negative. It just adds a little bit of extra play. So, it's fine. The fact that they have them, that's really the key. That's one thing. Some bags don't have the D-rings on top. They'll only have them on the straps, and that I'm not interested in. I just don't want stuff dangling here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the side pockets. I will point out up here in the front, there is a spot for some pencils in the very front here. Not sure how many people really need pencils anymore. I think everybody's doing everything more or less digitally, but in case you do, if I can get the pencil out. There's one, there's another. So that is there. And that's pretty much it for the sides. So now we'll get into the main part, the two disc pockets, really. So we'll start down here with the big main pocket. Right now, I've got, I think, 16 discs in here of various styles. You got putters, I got drivers, I got mid-ranges, a good mix. And they all fit in here. There's plenty I could probably fit another driver in here pretty easily. So if you were to do all drivers, you could probably get about 18 discs in here, 18 or 19 maybe, if you really crammed them, which is a solid capacity for any bag that I would ever want. I can't imagine ever needing more than that in a round. It's got the rigid structure like I mentioned, so it's like plastic, or like it's like a plastic on the sides, which is kind of nice. Keeps it so that the discs, if you don't have it full, the bag shape doesn't get all squished and funky. It's nice. I mean, it kind of sucks that the discs roll around and move around and are easy to, if the bag tips over for some reason, they're definitely going to fall out, so you got to watch out for that if you don't have it filled up. I mean, granted, your bag isn't probably going to be tipping too much anyway based on the way this thing is designed, so it's probably not a big issue, but yeah, you'll definitely notice that if you don't have it full, they'll rattle around and stuff. But otherwise, easy to get them in and out. Pretty standard. I don't know. Most bags are pretty much fine for that. It's the whole purpose of them, so you'd hope that part works. I will point out this flap does exist, and it's Velcro all the way across. I noticed with the Trooper, the Velcros were like small tabs versus being all the way, so sometimes they'd come loose. Whereas this, it hasn't moved. When you Velcro it up there, it stays put. So you could, if you want, you can just have the flap hanging, or you can zip it up. However you want it. I keep it back. And also there's this front pocket. So if you want to store something in here, I have some like ibuprofen or something in there. But you can put like your wallet or keys or something in there. And it's accessible even when it's Velcroed back. You can still get into this pocket right here. So that's kind of nice. And that's pretty much all there is to say about the sort of main pocket. If we move into the top, this is probably the most interesting part of the bag, in my opinion. So as you can see the way I have it set up, you can get at the putters, but the rest of the top is sort of closed off. And that is sort of the way I like to use it. So if you look inside, it's a pretty big cavity. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. I have a friction glove and a golden retriever in there at the moment. But you could definitely fit a bunch of stuff in here. And that's pretty much what I plan to do, snacks or whatever, and then you just zip up the sides and you're good to go. But what you can do is you could fill this entire pouch. So this, if I take these putters out, this sort of folds in, and you could fit just discs up here, and you can fit another 7-8 discs up here, putters. Like, it fits a lot of discs, and you'll still have room. It would be a pretty poor setup, I think. I would never choose to have that many discs up top, but you could do it if you really want to carry a lot of discs. So you could do that. Otherwise, if you don't like... Why, that's so hard to get in from this angle. This flap, I have it currently Velcroed on itself, but you can Velcro it in a few different places. So you can see you got the Velcro on the one side and the other side. You can also Velcro into this pouch. So you could do, it'll look exactly the same, but the Velcro actually goes inside and connects into the pouch so that you don't potentially have stuff fall out. It's sort of like a completely connected all the way around on the sides and along the top so that nothing will fall out. Or you can basically do it all the way over the top, and there's Velcro along the back. So if it's raining or something, you could do this and zip it up and not worry about your stuff getting wet. Or if you're not putting any discs up top, you could do this. But in my opinion, I like having the putter pocket available, and I like being able to kind of get into the bigger pocket pretty easily. So I just Velcro those two pieces together, and then zip up by the sides, and then I can fit my 2 putters up here. And yeah, that's pretty much everything there is to say about this bag. It's been fantastic. I'm really happy with it so far. Yeah, I'd be curious to know anybody who's had this bag long. I don't know how. I'm not entirely sure when it came out, so I don't know how long will be. But if somebody's had it longer than a couple months, what's your thoughts are? How you've felt about it? Is it still holding up? I personally think it's been a great disc for the money. And if you're looking to hop up from that sort of intermediate level bag, the the $40 ones that are out there, into the closer to the $100 range, this is definitely one I'd look at. Yeah, that's about all I got today. So if you have comments about the bag or want to ask any questions about the bag, feel free to drop them below. Otherwise, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you want to catch any of my other content that'll be coming out. Might be a little bit slow here through February once it starts getting real cold. I don't really plan on filming anything outside while it's really cold, and I only have so much of a backlog of film, so we'll see. But for sure, come springtime, I'll be putting out a lot more videos again. So yeah, if you're interested in catching those, hit subscribe. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one.